Good evening, everyone. Learn as if you will live forever. Live like you will die tomorrow.
Good evening, one and all. Welcome to this momentous occasion of learning. I, Lavisha Samnani,
And I, Abhishek Chaudhary, student manager at Balaji Institute of Technology and Management, Sri Balaji University, Pune.
will be your masters of ceremony for today. We will ensure that every aspect of this event unfolds seamlessly with utmost enthusiasm.
But before we start of this session, let me shed light on a quote. The beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you.
We would like to welcome you all to our 11th corporate session of learning from corporate leaders. Our guest for today is a remarkable individual who made an impact through his journey. It is indeed an honor to have Mr. Trived sir, who is a true leader and a visionary.
Sir, for us to thrive in a very competitive world, Sri Balaji University Pune has an excellent academic program with inbuilt rigor and resilience and a process-driven approach.
We would also like to extend our greetings to our Chancellor, Sri Balaji University Pune, Professor Paramanandan Balasubramanian Sir, Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. G.K. Shirude Sir, and all our senior directors, directors, and deputy directors, department heads, faculty members, and to all our student managers.
Our university also has a vibrant ecosystem that nurtures entrepreneurship, and through our interactive sessions with corporate stalwarts, we groom ourselves for challenges in the outer world.
Discipline, dedication, determination are the three values on which Sri Balaji University Pune provides career-specific contemporary education with a strong emphasis on practical training and overall development of the students.
We are very proud of our constituent institutes of Sri Balaji University, namely Balaji Institute of Modern Management BIMM, Balaji Institute of Technology and Management BITM, Balaji Institute of International Business BIIB, Balaji Institute of Management and Human Resource Development BIMHRD, Balaji School of Arts and Science, Balaji School of Law, which produce exceptional student managers.
The prestigious Times of India B School Survey has ranked Sri Balaji University Pune as top 12 B schools in India and ranked top 4 among private university. Sri Balaji University is known for its 100% placement record as more than 300 companies visit our campus for internships and placements. The intense grooming and the maximum learning hour record have enabled our student managers to emerge as a leader in the corporate world.
Our university makes sure that we can interact with at least 200 corporate leaders. This ensures that our growth and learning get fast-tracked, and we have a sharper edge over others in campus placements. On this gracious occasion, we fondly remember our founder, late Professor Dr. Colonel A. Bala Subramanian Sir, for his vision to impart quality education to the youth of our country.
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, as we deep dive into the realm of learning. Prepare to be inspired, uplifted, and driven to the new heights.
May I now request our student manager, Miss Aditi and Mr. Priyanshu, to felicitate our guest of honor.
Thank you, Aditi and Priyanshu. May I now request our student manager, Ms. Shakina, to introduce our guest.
Good evening, one and all. I, Shakaina Ezekiel, student manager at Balaji Institute of Technology and Management, Sri Balaji University, Pune, am honored and privileged to introduce our esteemed guest today, Mr. Vinay Trived, who currently serves as the Global Head of HR at Mr. Trivedi has over 15 years of experience in human resources and has successfully scaled Terrapay from 100 to 700 people in 30 months, expanding its presence from 4 to 35 countries, including setting up tech centers in Bangalore, LATAM, and Africa. He has built a workforce with 39 nationalities and 32% women workforce. Mr. Trivedi is a distinguished leader in the field of human resources, renowned for his expertise in talent acquisition, employee engagement, learning and development, and compliance. He is a LinkedIn top voice for HR, recruitment, and performance management. In addition to this, he is a mentor and advisor for WheelTrek, a startup mile delivery. He has also received multiple awards and certifications for his HR excellence and leadership skills. His illustrious career is not limited to Terrapay. Mr. Trivedi hosts a YouTube channel called VT Talks, where Sir shares insights on burning questions like how to prepare for interviews and so on. Vinay Sir's academic credentials are equally impressive. He completed his post-graduation in Human Capital Management from XLRI Jamshedpur. As a visionary leader, Mr. Vinay Trivedi excels in creating impactful changes and fostering a culture of togetherness. His commitment to making a positive impact extends beyond his professional endeavors to the lives of his family, team, and organization as a whole. He has a remarkable ability to transform opportunities into successes and consistently thrives on new challenges. We are indeed fortunate to have such an accomplished and inspiring individual with us today. Sir, the stage is all yours. Thank you.
Okay. Are you all from this institute itself? आजू बाजू से लेके तो नहीं आया ना यहाँ पे? No, I'm good with this. Thank you. Okay, so this is what? Day 15, day 20 of your MBA? 17. 17. Wow. So 17 days of torture already done in MBA. Huh? Reality is hit all of you, right? Suit, boot, ties, right? Feels like a jail when you're dressed up like this? For how many it feels like a jail when you're dressed up like this? It's a trick question actually. But the ones who said yes are brave people, right? I'm going to spend the next 1 hour talking about some very hard-hitting points, some very hard-hitting questions, and some very interesting anecdotes that will help you in the next 2 years of your journey, and maybe a little longer after you complete your MBA. But the only condition is I'm going to be asking a lot of questions, and obviously I would expect all of you to participate and answer. Right? We'll finish this as quickly as possible so all of you can enjoy your Saturday evening and I can take my flight back. Is it okay? Yes, sir. 15 minutes is enough? Yes, sir. 10 minutes? Yes, sir. I'll straight jump to the thank you slide then. You know, we will be done. Okay. I know it's been a long day. Let's understand the context of the world that we are living in. I don't know if you're all able to see. Are you able to see? You can't project it here instead of me seeing myself. It's like Vinay seeing Vinay. Can we project so people can read? ठीक है. 2 minutes लगेगा, चलेगा. Okay. The context that we are living in today is an overload of information. How many of you agree that there's a lot of information to process Raise your hands. Wow, right? How many of you also agree that there are a lot of options, you don't know what to do, right? Excellent. I'm not sure if you should come to an MBA college to solve this or go to a Baba's ashram to get answers to what you have to do in your life, right? But today, that's the context of the world we live in. The second thing, how many of you have heard this word FOMO? Wow. How many of you are victims of FOMO? Excellent, right? This is real, right? We are constantly in this era of reels, constantly looking at what others are doing, constantly nagging our girlfriends or boyfriends saying, yaar, wo wahan pe bada maza kar raha hai, you are not taking me anywhere, right? Happens, right? And especially in this weather, it's just beginning to rain, right? Your professors can close their ears for a while if they're sitting in this session. They're sitting at their own risk, so don't worry about them, okay? We are constantly worried what others are doing. We are constantly thinking, what is it that we have to do, right? And that's the world we live in, right? And pressure, yeah? We have parental pressure, we have friends pressure, and the new addition is social media pressure. All of us have a lot of pressure to look good, to have the best photograph click, to go to the best place, right? More than half the times when we go to a new place, we are not enjoying that place, but we are busy clicking photographs so that we can upload that on social media and tell the world we are having a good time. Do you agree? Yeah? That's the context and that's the world we are living in. Given this context, how is it that you can enjoy your MBA days? What is it that you can do is what I'm going to be covering today in the next 15 minutes, we said, right? We agreed on 15. When does the timer start for 15? Already started. Okay. What are we all doing here? What are we doing here? Apart from scanning your... That's a very weird system. I was just seeing, and what are these people looking into that device for, right? It's a crazy world, right? You come to college thinking you have grown up and you can bunk classes, but here you have your eye scanners that you can't even have proxies. Huh? That's the world we live in. We'll give some tips to your teaching staff also. It's why only you should study. They should also learn, unlearn, and relearn, right? So we'll tell them what they should unlearn in the session. But do you all agree that you're here to build a career? Yes. How many of you don't want to do a job after completing MBA? How many of you don't want to do anything after completing MBA? So, we are clear that we want to do something in life. It could be a job, it could be our own journey, it could be joining a family business. We are all clear that we want to do something in life. Are you with me so far? Wow. How many engineers here? If you know what this point is and attempt to answer. What is this point here? Can somebody raise their hand and attempt? Yes. Break-even point. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. You can try. Yeah. Point of origin. Excellent. Very close. Center. Yeah, that's obvious. Thanks for stating the obvious. Yeah. They have one goal to do, which is an MBA, right? Okay, that's also true. This specific point is called something. Origin, what else? No, it's the opposite of saturation. Meeting up, balance, intersection. So, yeah. Sorry? Equilibrium. वो तो हिला हुआ है सबका. But that's right. So this, I'll tell you a technical term for this point. This point is called as the point of inflection. What is it called? Excellent. All of you are graduates, right? All of you know how to read, right? Okay. All of you have come for this guest lecture to get knowledge. Yes, no?
फोन लो
Change. Right? Second time is maybe board exam that you remember. Third time, raise your hand and attempt. Even that side people can, yeah. 12th, 10th के बाद 12th chronology अच्छी है, very good. Absolutely, and that was one turning point, right? 10th, 12th, 10th, 12th, we had been hammered that you have to, clear that for your life, blah, blah, blah. Right? After that, aptitude test is an inflection point. Graduation is an inflection point. Sorry? Job interview is an inflection point, right? These are, yes, you wanted to attempt something. When you started walking, right? You can count the number of times in your life you're going to be at this point. It is up to you on whether you're going to make the best use of this time in your life or you're going to waste it. Do you realize unless you do a PhD, possibly this is the last time in your lifetime you're getting a formal education. Do you realize that? You may never get into an education mode after this. And how do you make the best use of the time that you have here? Is up to whom? Up to you. Right? With me? Therefore, remember this point of inflection in your life. Remember that you're here as the last formal education in your life, and see what you can do to make the best out of it. The first lesson we learned today is you're going to learn one or two things from every guest lecture, right? Next time I come to the campus, hopefully they'll call me back, I will ask you for the list of 2 things you have learned from every guest lecture. Is it possible for you guys to record that? And you don't need to record in the book. You can write on your phone, you can write on your notes, which are virtual. You don't need to write on a book and a pen, by the way. So the ones who said they don't have a book, they could have told, sir, we are recording on the phone. Smart use of technology. Right? But because we are so used to showing a book, okay, I'll only record in a book, people only believe me if I record in a book, you showed the book. With me so far? So far, so good? I already asked this question. And 17 days, maybe you've met 5, 8, 6, 10 speakers from outside. Your induction would have been like a lot of people would have come to meet you, right? By the way, all of you have given your measurements for the uniform? Have you asked your college, why do you make us wear this ugly uniform? Anybody's asked that question to the college? So I'm going to give a tip to your college, by the way, saying they need to teach the kids how to dress smart and not put them in a uniform so that they look same. Does it make sense? Yes, sir. Right? That's something I'm going to tell your college. Like I said, I'm not here only to teach you. Right? If they've called me, I'll also teach them 1 or 2 things from my experience. Right? Maybe they'll never call me again after this. Okay. This is an important slide that you guys need to, make a note of, because the next 2 to 5 years are going to be very, very critical in your life. And there's one slide where I will cover why the next 2 to 5 years are very critical for you in your life. Okay. Can we play some trivia? Huh? Interesting. Okay. What is this? What is the rule? You will raise your hand and attempt to answer. But anyways, banyan tree is simple. Why is this here? What is the significance of the banyan tree? Raise your hand and attempt to answer. Yes. Multiple branches. Deep rooted. Long life. Growth. Strength. Shade. Stable. Stable, none of us are. Are we? Yeah. Even the branches are connected to its roots. Network. Excellent. You were, okay, sorry. I thought you were raising your hand to answer. What is its significance in India, by the way? Raise your hand. Holy tree? You were saying something? That side? Yeah. It can survive without the trunk, absolutely. Yes. It is the national of India. Raise your hands. Really, only if you know, you raise your hand. Huh? Okay. Why is it the national tree? It is the national tree for all the reasons that you have said. It is perpetual, it keeps growing, it keeps giving way to the new roots that come in. So, it's like blah, blah, blah. And there's a reason why this is here, by the way. It's not just here for the sake of trivia. Next question is very interesting. And you have to raise your hand to attempt to answer. How many states, union territories, and districts in India? Okay. Okay, start with states. How many states? 29. How many 29? How many 28? This is the answer. Of course, it continues to grow. But who do we know? Nalanda. Correct? Okay, this one will be fun. A few games that originated of India. Yes. Chess, Kabaddi, Kho-Kho, hockey. From India, really? Wow. Next slide पे डाल दूंगा मैं ये. There are a lot of them, right? I'm just showing you a few. You know why Snakes and Ladder was, by the way, an Indian game? The reason why Snakes and Ladder came into existence is the ladders will show growth, snake will show greed. So every time you're bitten by a snake, you go down. So in the ancient times, when they were inventing games, they had fair logic of why they're inventing those games. Yeah? Good. Good attempt, by the way. While you're deciding to work on yourself for the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, right? One of the most important things that you need to know is you will have to decide of objective in life. And that objective can be evolving, that objective can change over time, of course, right? I am an HR head. If you ask me that, am I going to continue to be an HR head? The answer is no. Do I know what I want to do for the next 20, 30 years in my career? I don't know. So that's possible for us to not have clarity. However, you should have an objective. For example, the objective I had when I took up HR as a career was I wanted to become an HR head. I had an objective, right? An end goal. I became an HR head 6 years back. From 6 years, I'm trying to see what else do I need to do now, right? So objective is very important for you to have. And this is an opportune time, the right time for you to think on what is it that you want to do in your lives. Because your college is over, graduation is over, masti time is over. MBA is a far more serious time in your life because you're matured, you've gone through a journey of graduation, and now you're able to decide for yourself what is it that you like, what is it that you dislike. For example, a lot of engineers may not want to do engineering jobs. That's why they're in MBA, to see if they can do something else and pick a field in management, right? Similarly, a lot of BCom guys are still thinking, should I go into accounts or should I get into management? So think of an objective that you really want to have in your life. Very, very important for you. The next thing that is important for you is do not get influenced by anybody sitting next to you. None of your neighbors here know you as much as you know, by the way. How many of you here are friends for 10 years, 15 years? You have your friend in the same 10, 15 years, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These may be exceptions. The others, You know, last 15, 16 days, I'm sure a lot of people are trying to see which groups they belong to, making groups, you'll be breaking groups, trying to go out, see, etc., etc. Each one of you are so matured that you will only show a side of yourself that you want to show to your friends. Do you agree? You're guarded, you're not going to show your true self. Do you agree? You're not bindas yet, saying they know everything in and out of my life. Agree? Therefore, getting influenced by your peers is the worst thing to do. And that will tempt you every day in your life at B school. Don't get influenced by your peers. They don't exactly know you. Right? This is an interesting point. How many of you remember a time in the last, say, 6 months to 1 year? And just raise your hand when I finish this question, if you know the answer or if you have done something, where you had surprised yourself, saying, oh wow, I didn't think I can do this, apart from getting into an MBA college. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 500 of you approximately sitting here. 15 people have surprised themselves in the last 6 months to 1 year. Do you realize how obsolete each one of you are? If you're not working on challenging yourself or surprising yourself, and challenge and surprise doesn't mean education, right? It could be anything. It means you're just going with the flow. The water is pouring and you're just going with the flow. Promise me, and this is a second lesson for you guys, that in the next 6 months, you will do something to surprise yourself and tell yourself, yes, I surprised myself. Will you do it? Yes, how many of you will do it? Wow. And there is no report for this. You don't have to report it to anybody. It's for you, right? It's for your career, it's for your journey, it is for who you become. Yeah? How many of you have tried something new in the last 1 year? About 30% of the class. The others, I'm beginning to get worried now. Right? If we as students are not trying something new, who else is going to try something new? Your teachers? Your guest speakers? Shouldn't the student community constantly be trying something new? Are you with me? How many of you disagree? I mean, I would have said I disagree because there are so many new things I'm doing already in college. The fact of the matter is, if you don't try new things, if you don't experiment, you're not growing in your lives. And these are not academic tips that I'm giving you. These are very simple things that have, by the way, helped me in my career to grow. Because I constantly kept trying new things, I could grow. Today, and they spoke about it in the introduction, I have my workforce that is spread across 35 countries. I've hired in 35 countries in the last 2 years. By the way, sitting in Bangalore, I haven't really traveled across the globe to hire them. Right? That's because I constantly keep trying to do new things. I work with translators when I go to West Africa where they speak in French. I go with translators to Latin America when they speak in Spanish because, language is a barrier. I want you guys to surprise yourself and try new things in the next 6 months. I want a loud answer to this. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Sab khade ho jayenge, aisa lag raha hai, Okay. And don't forget to enjoy yourself. Bunk a few classes. No problem with attendance. See? Why is it difficult to bunk classes here? Why is it difficult? 90% attendance. 90? 95%. You guys don't know how to muskafy your teachers. There's a trick to this, you know that? I won't tell the trick here. Otherwise, they'll just get some bouncers and get me out of this. But the point I'm making is, while this journey is, you'll try new things and surprise yourself and do multiple things, don't forget to do some mischief in class. Not in my class, but generally do some mischief in class, right? Make your life interesting so that tomorrow you laugh about it as well. Will you do some mischief in class? It's not loud enough. And your teachers will not tell you to discard that, don't worry. Okay? Excellent. Sir had enough. He said, अब मैं नहीं सुन सकता इसके आगे मुझे जाना पड़ेगा, you know. So, but when you make your life interesting, don't get into an extreme zone where you forget your objective. To the first point, what is critical is your objective. With me or with sir? You're with sir, with me? Yeah? Excellent. Okay. This one is just there. If you work hard the next 5 years, the next 25, 30 years of your life is going to be easy and simple. This is what my father told me, and I always write this when I go and meet students. And he told me when I was just getting into college, right, in degree, BCom. BCom में तो वैसे ही पढ़ाई नहीं होती है, right? There's no, I mean, how many BCom graduates here? You know, my college was Jain College in Bangalore. College would start at 7:30 in the morning, 11:30 college is over. Why? Because all the Marwadis had to go and sit on the galla and run business, so the college would be in the morning. Best time, right? If I go for the morning show, which is 9:30 to watch a movie, I would practically not go to college at all. Right? And that's when my dad got a little worried and he said, Beta, if you work hard, your life's going to be good. You party for the next 5 years, it'll be a struggle for you the next 25, 30 years of your career. Right? The best case scenario is if you work hard and party harder. Right? A balance, equilibrium. Somebody said when they were looking at the point of inflection, right? Equilibrium. The best is if you balance both. Right? So work hard and party. Party. Excellent. Yeah. You will get very demotivated very soon, by the way. Saying, what is this? So many assignments, so many things to do. I have no time to breathe. I have no time to think. I have no time to do anything. They're expecting us to do this overnight, blah, blah, blah. And your faculty will say, boss, corporate world is very difficult. You have to do all of this. I'm sure they must already be telling you, right? The world out is very different. You're very shielded. You're very protected, blah, 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 blah. 100 things they must be telling you, right? Focus. Don't get distracted. You know, it's good to be anxious and worried, but fear sometimes can make you take the wrong decisions. So don't get too anxious. What happens to my placement, summer internship? How many people in the PlaceCom committee? Not yet formulated? Oh, you will form one soon. They'll be the most hated on the batch and the most loved on the batch, right? But don't be very anxious. Take a chill pill. Yeah? And always have some backup with you. If not option 1, option 2. Don't be very emotional about your options in the sense, oh, I have to do this. Of course, it's good to be focused and it's good to have a target and it's good to be passionate to get that target. However, have a backup option in your mind. Especially when you hit your placement season, your backup options will work wonders for each one of you. Because you're mentally not psyched that you didn't get your dream job if you don't make it. You're mentally not under stress that, oh, I have to crack this interview, otherwise what happens to me? Okay? And this is the last slide before we open up for Q&A, by the way. Right? Like I said, it's a very light session. I just want to share some tips with you to help you in your journey. The first one, I believe in this thoroughly. You need to wake up every day and dress to impress. Impress whom? Nah, you have to impress others, right? Why would you impress yourself? You know why people say you have to dress well? Anybody has any reason why they say you should dress well, by the way? Can somebody raise their hand and attempt to answer? Yes, ma'am. Presentation and confidence. क्या होता है मतलब? What presentation, what confidence? Sorry. Okay, fair. Absolutely. You dress good, you feel good. Somebody was trying to attempt that. Yes. People judge the book by its cover. नहीं यार मुंह खोलने में समझ में आ जाता है फिर. It's a very short-lived one, you know. But you're right. First impressions do matter, and therefore it helps. I agree. Yeah. First impression. Anybody else this side? Yeah. You prioritize yourself. Yeah. You know. Yes, sir. To keep ourselves self-motivated. I'll give you an example. You know, when you dress up for how many of you have gone for a party? Has there been a freshers party here yet? Oh, bad question to ask. Have you guys gone to a function where you've dressed well? Have you got compliments when you've gone to a, yaar, sahi lag raha hai ekdam. Suddenly your confidence goes up when somebody compliments you. Have you sensed that? When you have a smart haircut, your confidence goes up. Have you sensed that? Yeah? The reason why they say you have to dress to impress is it brings up your self-esteem, it brings up your confidence as an individual. And therefore, when you are able to dress to impress each day, every day, you know, there are some people who are bindas and there are some people who are always worried and timid. Have you seen that difference? This fellow, sometimes, isko kya padi nahi, aaram se aata hai, aaram se jata hai, bindas chalta hai, doesn't care for himself. Have you seen such people? Yeah? They are absolutely high on self-esteem. And one way to do that is to dress smart. It's not to impress anybody else, it's for your self-esteem. Okay? And I always challenge the norm that, people are put in uniforms because I think that you are limiting options for people. And I urge the college to teach you to have classes in your MBA, which belt to match with which shoes, what color shirt, what color pant. You know, sometimes people wear yellow pants, chatang, and say, we are looking smart, right? Happens, right? Or sometimes people wear very, very strong perfume. And when somebody is walking around, you can only smell the perfume, right? Saying, oh, this fellow is gone, right? So how do you subdue yourself? What do you do? Is something that I'll tell the college to definitely help you with. It'll do wonders to you in your life and your careers. When you're able to have a power dress, it makes a power statement. First impressions. Of course, content needs to be backed up with that, but first impressions do matter. Yeah. Body language. If you're sitting like this in the class and you're like, submissive, suddenly everybody's like, okay, can I sit properly? Your body language conveys a lot of messages. If you're able to consciously work on your body language, it creates an executive presence of yourself in the room, by the way. It creates a presence of who you are as an individual. And therefore, if you can consciously work on your body language while you're here, that will do great wonders for you in your corporate life. So far, so good? How many of you read newspapers every day? Not Pune Times or Pune Mirror. Economic Times. वो तो college में बोला होगा पढ़ने के लिए. You know why is it important to be well read? Wild guess, anybody? I mean, raise your hand and attempt. Yes. Content and data for what? To make a debate. Excellent. Yes. To be a good speaker. Okay. Yeah. For what? Current learning के लिए. No, why do you need that? You're right, your point is right. Why do you need current affairs? Why do you need knowledge? To groom yourself, yeah. Stay with that point, I'll come to you. For share market. Oh, those apps are all fraud. You will lose money if you go into that. But, yeah, for making money or etc. It's how it will affect us in your day-to-day life, agreed? So you can crib about the government, saying, kya kar rahe log? Absolutely. You know, when you're well read and there are a variety of topics that you have knowledge about. For example, if you go say you become a relationship manager in a bank, one of the roles that gets picked up here on campus, right? And the business owner is a tennis player. If you know what's happening in the latest world of tennis, isn't it a great conversation starter with the business leader? Common ground for a conversation, right? Being well read gives you an opportunity to speak to people on different topics. And trust me, all of this is not rocket science. These are very commonsensical points that I'm saying. Like, when I'm making these points, a lot of you are like, yeah, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. If you're well read, have an opinion. Always have an opinion. For, against. Never say, I'm neutral, I'm okay, doesn't matter to me, etc., etc. Why does having an opinion matter? Anybody wants to tell me why should you have an opinion, by the way? Stand out of the crowd, mental clarity, to make a change, reflects your personality, reflects the depth in your personality when you are able to share your opinion. Saying, oh, this guy talks well. He knows or she knows her stuff or his stuff. A lot of times when people talk, you want to listen to them. Say, oh, this guy talks sense. And a lot of times when you hear people say, this fellow is bakwas, pata nahi kya baat karta hai, what does he talk? It happens, right? It's the difference between being well-read and having an opinion and not. If you have an opinion, voice it. But don't argue. Somebody said for argument. Who said for we can argue our point or something? Somebody, yeah. Voice your opinion. When you are able to voice your opinion, and change starts with yourself. In your corporate journey, how many of you have work experience here? Okay. So those of you who have work experience, a lot of times when you would have spoken in the meeting, they say, oh, good point, thanks for bringing it up. Have you heard that statement? Yeah? Not all are able to voice their opinion. Q, chalta hai, chalne do. Why should I worry about it? I am not here to change the world. I will come do my job and I'll go back home. That's the thought process people have. Who stand out? And somebody said stand out of the crowd, right? When you are able to voice your opinion, you are heard and people remember you. And therefore it's important for you to voice your opinion. With me so far? Khatam nahi ho raha last slide. Nahin? Be aware. Be aware of your surroundings, be aware of your situations, be aware of what is happening in the world, be aware of what is happening in college, be aware of what is happening in the corporate world. Being aware gives you as much confidence as much as dress to impress gives you. That gives your body the confidence, being aware gives your mind the confidence. And you can be aware if you're well read, if you are entitled to an opinion that you can share, you can voice out your opinion, right? That's when you're more and more aware. You're more and more conscious of what you're saying, to whom you're saying. A lot of times we find people saying, hey, bakwas hai, I don't know what is it, kaha shuru kiya, kaha chala gaya, we don't know only. Happens? Yeah? Be aware. This all of you are going to do, right? One experiment in the next 6 months. And that experiment cannot be how you break the gate of the college and go out. Huh? It has to be an experiment that you can tell yourself, okay, I tried something new. And, this is what happened. All of you will experiment? Wow. Be passionate. Right? Not just in love. Not just in war. In general, be an entu cutlet in your life. Be passionate about how you want to deal with things. There could be somebody who's very good at sports, right? So in the middle of the night, you want to say, Kare, Dhoni ka ye record kaun sa tha? You can call that person up. You'll be sure he'll know. Or Shah Rukh Khan's kaun si movie thi? You'll be sure he'll know, right? Because they're passionate about those topics. They're aware, they know what is it, and they'll be able to freely share an opinion of, right? Therefore, it's important for each one of you to be very, very passionate about what you want to do. And passion cannot be told. It is intrinsic, internal. It has to come from within. This one helps you in networking. For you, networking is going to be very critical in the next 2 years to land a good job, to get a good internship, to get a good role, etc., etc. How do you network? Can somebody attempt to tell me how should one network? Yes. By taking initiative, by getting to know the other person. Excellent. Yeah. By communicating. Okay, I take that. How can I connect further? उससे क्या होता है? Okay, good attempt. Start conversations first. You know, starting conversations first is very awkward. You don't know what to talk, right? You don't know how to start a conversation, right? There are so many motivational speakers who teach you how to start a conversation. You know that on YouTube? Yeah. A simple trick, if I can give you. If you, yes. By having a common ground, yeah. You may not have a common ground always, but it's a good point. Compliment the person. Now interesting points are coming. Active listening, very, very rare quality. Start with a smile. You know, I've had really bad times when I've started with a smile, okay? I was talking to my wife and boarding an aircraft, and I was obviously on a video call because I was excited. It was my first time in Emirates business class, okay? So you can imagine how excited one would be. So I'm, showing off, saying I'm entering a flight, blah, blah, blah. And a nice air hostess comes and greets me, Mr. Trivedi, this is your seat, you can come here, blah, blah, blah. I forgot my wife was there, and I'm smiling at her and talking to her and walking with her. And then my wife says, excuse me, you want to talk to her? She's going to be with you on the flight for 4 hours to Dubai. Can you talk to me now? And then I realized, so sometimes it can put you in trouble. But a simple trick. There are 1,000 people in your own batch. 1,950,000. What's the head count? 1020. If you're able to talk to one new person in your batch itself, in 1 year you would have spoken to 300 people who you have never spoken to before. And that will help you in networking with corporate world. How do you start a conversation? How do you talk to a new person? You can't just, Vinay Trived is told to talk to a new person. Hi, my name is this, I'm coming to talk to you. And then awkward silence. He doesn't know what to say, you don't know what to say, you're just looking at each other, right? That's a very, very difficult point. But if you're able to start talking to strangers, all of you are strangers to each other, right? Not everybody is friends here, right? Simple. Ask them where they come from. Ask them what brings them to this B school. Why is it that why did they join Balaji? It can't be kahi aur mila nahi, yahan pe aa gaye. Ya placement record dekh ke aa gaye. It can't be that, right? Why they want to do an MBA? Conversation starter, right? Talk to them about what was one of the most difficult thing in their life so far. Right? The more you get comfortable talking to strangers, the more you will become confident in dealing with the corporate world and voicing your opinions freely. Will you attempt talking to one new person? Wow. So you're going to do experiments, you're going to talk to a new person, and there's one more thing I said. Sorry? 2 learnings from a session, surprise yourself. Wow, a lot of things, huh? Party hard, 100%. These are the best days. Bunk classes, definitely. Iske baad bunk, I've also bunked office and gone to a movie. And so when I started my career, by the way, I was in HP in the BPO. I spent 3 months there. BPO, there was no work induction and blah, blah, blah was going on, right? And I was bored to death. I was like, what do I do? Because it's work, you have to go and sit there every day. And how many coffees are you going to drink? How many snooker games you're going to play, right? I mean, you have 9 hours to kill. So I watched the pattern when my supervisor is active, when he's not active, when my boss is on his seat, when he's in meetings, etc., etc. On 3 different occasions, I came to work, I swiped in, left my bag, went, watched a movie, came back and spoke to him as if I was sitting here all the time. Right? But that's, that's life, okay? You should bunk and you should enjoy, but keep your objective in mind. This one is very, very rare. You know why did we play the trivia, by the way? Why did we play the trivia? Anybody has the wildest guess why trivia was played? Common sense, common knowledge, वो तो यहाँ पे okay, it's written here. What else? Yeah, engaging, of course. It's interesting, I agree. Even we speakers have to put something interesting so that you don't yawn too much in the class, these days. That's a reality. But why do you think I played that trivia? There's a very, very important message there. Understanding perspectives. Yeah. How spontaneous you are when random questions are asked. General awareness. Nah, I am not here a GK teacher teaching you general. No, not general awareness. You are saying something. Basic facts. When I asked how many states and union territories, all of you were excited in giving some answers. Agree? All of you? I went one level down and asked how many districts. People are not able to answer. The fact of the life, ladies and gentlemen, is we are becoming so superficial that we do not tend to go in depth of any subject that we want to learn or understand. Today, the biggest problem the generation is facing, because there's instant gratification, there are 30-second reels, 15-second reels, your concentration power is not very high. You just don't go in depth of things. You want to be superficial. And that's a very dangerous thing. And this trivia demonstrated exactly that. That, ऊपर से state पता है, एक level नीचे पता नहीं है. I urge each one of you, whatever is your topic, when I said, be well read, have an opinion, go in depth of that topic. It's very, very critical. Because the more you are able to go in depth of these topics, the more will be your value, the more will be your personality being taken seriously, the more you will stand out in a crowd. It's a very, very important point that we miss out. All right. Don't get slapped, okay, by flirting just because I've told. When I say flirt a little, I mean just enjoy yourself, have a good time. These are the best days of your life, and these are opportunities that you will never get, right? Make the best use of them. That is all that I have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I would be happy to take a few questions if anybody has, and it could not necessarily be in this. Anything that you want to ask, I'm happy to answer them. Yes. See, for you to set, I thought somebody asked me some funny question, okay, I'll answer this. Objective to, see, the way it worked for me, I was never sure what I want to do in my life. Even today, I'm not sure if HR is where I want to be, by the way, right? But what I told myself, that if I'm picking something up, I will attempt to do the best that I can till the time I'm doing that, right? If I get bored and I do something else, then that's a different story. But my objective till the time I pick something up is to do the best possible. That's what helped me scale through in my journey. So if you're not getting an objective, pick up something to experiment, do your best. You don't like it, pick something else. That's what I would say. Thanks, Adarsh. Yeah.
Hello, sir. I am student manager Rebecca Anthony from BITM. Sir, since you spoke about Snake and Ladder, the Indian game, So, how do you understand when the ladder turns into a greed? Because sometimes that the end snake can pull you down to the very last end. So, how do you understand when that ladder turns into a greed?
You know, we all have a fine sense of judgment, which is called common sense, right? Have you been in a situation that I'm trying, shit, I shouldn't have gone so far? Have you been in that situation, all of you? Yeah? यार पता था मुझे, still I went, right? If you know मुझे पता है, go back, right? In life, there will be multiple times when you're presented with these risky situations. If you're confident, you take the risk. Now, by the way, you take a risk and you go down, you should be proud of yourself. I tried, it didn't work out, I will restart. You all watched that movie Restart wala na? 12th fail, right? Restart. It's okay, right? Not every time you're going to be successful.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else, anything else? Yes.
Hello, sir. I am Ashutosh Shati. I am from BITM Marketing. My question is regarding anxiousness. You talk about the anxiousness to control it. How to tackle the anxiousness of such person who is sometimes become uncontrollable in the situations where he get anxious.
Okay, let me ask a reverse question to all of you. How many of you have a hobby? Raise your hand. How many of you follow that hobby every day? Raise your hand. You look around. Just look around, right? The fact that people are not following a hobby is causing anxiety. The ones who raise their hands, because they have that hobby, their anxiety will get into their hobby. Suppose drawing is their hobby, right? They're anxious, they'll go draw something, they'll relieve their pressure. It's about how you relieve that pressure of yourself. And typically, hobbies are the best case to relieve pressure. Otherwise, it goes on people. You start shouting on people, you'll be in a crappy mood, blah, blah, blah. So, hobby is an answer to that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, two of you. You can just shout the question. I think I cleaned my ears today. It's a very, very, very important point that I'm coming and telling you to experiment, but here there are rules and you have to follow the rules, etc., etc., right? If there is something that you want to do as an experiment, right, and this is for everybody, first create a buy-in atmosphere. How do you create a buy-in atmosphere? Is you build confidence of people, that is your professors or family, etc., to trust in you that you will not go overboard. Once that trust is built, they will let you experiment freely. 100%. Yeah. But sometimes you have to just break the rules. नहीं समझते क्या करें? अब तोड़ दिया rule, sorry बोल दो. I mean, that's how life is, right? That's how it works. Yes.
Hello. Hello. Good evening, sir. I, Gauri Deshmukh, student manager at BIMM. As you speak about don't get influenced by others, in this world of social media, it is very easy to get influenced by others. So what are the ways which will be helping us from staying not to get influenced by others?
Simple, stay away from social media.
Sir, but it
No, what I mean to say is that if you're on social media and you're getting excited with what you're seeing and you want to experiment that, if it is pulling you down, that should be a signal for you to not do it. If it is motivating you, that should be a signal to continue doing it. So when do you know whether it's working or not working? Mood off, don't do it. Mood on, do it. That's the switch that I would look at.
Thank you, sir.
That's it?
That was the last question.
Okay. सारे ब्लैंकेट हो गए? Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
May I now invite our student managers, Ms. Ritika and Mr. Jatin, to felicitate our guest of honor with a token of appreciation.
Thank you, sir. May I now call upon our student manager, Mr. Jainam Vora, to put forward the vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I, Janam Vora, Student Manager at Balaji Institute Technology Management, Sri Balaji University, Pune, am deeply honored to stand out today as a deliver vote of thanks. It is my privilege to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Mr.Vinay Trived, sir, for his exceptional session for growing Terrapay with global HR leader expertise. Sir, your session have illuminated the path of us for shedding light on how strategic HR practices can fuel the growth of an organization like Terrapay. We are deeply grateful for the knowledge you have imparted. Here are some of the standout insights from our enlightening talk. Be well read, be aware, talk to new person each day, have hobbies to relieve the pressure, and the most important, retain the knowledge imparted by our eminent speakers. As we conclude today's session, I am confident that the knowledge and the inspiration we have gained from you, sir, will serve as a catalyst for our future initiatives. We celebrate this moment and deep gratitude and look forward to applying these insights in our professional journeys. Thank you and have a good evening.
Have a good Saturday, guys.